Hey guys, are you having a feeling of deja vu? I am. This is my son's house, the same deck that I came to you to announce that I was getting off of the Appalachian Trail. Unfortunately, I am off the Benton-McKaye Trail right now. I fell and sprained my knee, so I'm on the mend. And I'm hoping to finish this trail before the year's out. But right now I'd like to go over the miles I did and where I stayed and so on and so forth. So I have some notes and I have to put my readers on. So yeah, now I got the granny look on. Okay, day one, we started September 1st. We started from Amicalola Falls, and we got a shuttle to Springer Mountain and hit the trailhead from Springer Mountain. And at this time I'd like to thank Brett Eddy for shuttling us from the lodge to the trailhead, and he also brought out our resupply buckets and put those at Highway 76, and I'll include some pictures here. Okay, so day one we did 8 miles to a tent site. Day two we did 7.1 mile to Toccoa River Bridge. Day three we did 7.9 to a campsite. Day four we did 11.7 to Garland Gap. And so far my hip was doing great, feeling great, having a lot of fun. Day five we did 3.3 to Iron Bridge Cafe. And the reason why we ended up only doing 3.3 that day is, if you're following gut hooks, keep this in mind. Iron Bridge Cafe does not have the amenities that are listed on gut hooks. The only thing they have is food. There's no shower, there's no place to wash your clothes, there's no place to stay. There are cabins in that area, but I would think you would need to make reservations far in advance, because they're pretty nice cabins and they are not listed in gut hooks. And I don't believe they're listed in the guidebook either. So we left Iron Bridge Cafe. We got a ride to Blue Ridge and got a motel room for the night and took care of all the chores we wanted to get done. And then we had a shuttle driver. He took us back to the trailhead. Okay. So day 6 we did 14.4 miles to Highway 76 to get our resupply buckets. Thank you again, Brett Eddy, for helping us out with that. And from there we hiked on to Indian Rock Shelter. This shelter is on private property. There is cabins close by, no privy, so that was tricky. Okay, day 7 we did 13.2 miles to Holloway Gap and camped there. Day 8 we did 9.5 to Mill Branch campsite. Then day 9, my idea, we did 18.7 to Ducktown. We were going to stop short at a campsite and do a 5-mile Nero in, but yeah, I was like, 5 more miles, we can do this, and we did. It was cool. So we Nero'd and zeroed, and this is where I want to thank Underdog on the Appalachian Trail for his PayPal donation, which came right on time for that Nero and zero. Okay, and day 11 we did 13 miles to White Oak Flats Campground. And then we Neroed on day 12, 4.6 miles to Flip Flop Burgers, where we Neroed and zeroed. And want to thank you again, Benny, for hooking us up with a place to stay and helping us with our resupply boxes. Okay, so then let me get my place here. After Flip Flop Burgers, day 14, we did 8.3 to Lost Creek camp. This place was infested with mosquitoes. There's standing water there. If I could, I would have moved on to a different place. But leaving this camp, I fell and sprained my knee. But I pushed on another day, see if it would straighten out. So day 15, I did 12.8 miles on a sprained knee to mile 133, which was right in the middle of the trail where we set up our tents. I think we were 3 miles short of an old chimney going up this mountain. And yeah, I got up the next morning and walked like 10 yards and knew there was no way I was going to be able to do the 16-mile day that was on our schedule for that day. So I made the choice to get off trail before I caused any more damage to my knee, which I just recovered from hip surgery. So I got walked down to McKaye Gap and Brown Howard Parkway or Highway, something like that. And the only person I was able to reach, I tried to call Tom Bazemore, and I called my son, and my son was the only one that answered. The signal was iffy. Down at the Gap, there's no signal at all, so I wanted to make sure he knew where he was going before I started hiking back down to the Gap, and he found it on the map. I went down to the Gap, and I sat from 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock, because it's like a 3-hour drive for him to get to me. And I started worrying that he wouldn't be able to find the Gap, so I started walking down the road and met a couple. I didn't get their name, I really should have, and I just was a little upset at that point. But they got me to Coker Creek Welcome Center and headed back to the Gap to see if they could see my son, and they did, and let him know where I was, and I got off trail safely. So one thing to remember about the Benton-McKaye Trail is I have Verizon, but signal is very yeah, there's not much signal. Camps are down low. I haven't had signal in any camp we stayed at. It was always up on a hill, and yeah, the mountains aren't as high as like on the Appalachian Trail where you can get a good signal. So if you're out there, you know, and you have a spot device, that's cool. Especially the inReach one where you can text somebody, that would be better yet. But just keep in mind that where you have signal, just in case you have an emergency. Yeah, other than that, the trail was awesome. It was totally different than the Appalachian Trail. Finding beauty in the plant life, the wildlife, which we really didn't see much of until the night before I got off trail. We were in wild boar country, and the damage they do is unbelievable. It looked like somebody set a bomb off or splintered small tree trunks about 4-inch diameter, just splintered along the trail. The trail itself is all dug up. But yeah, I'm missing it, believe it or not. When I was out there, I said, I hope I get this trail done, because I would never come back here. But yeah, I'm missing it. I'm realizing the beauty of it all when I was out there, and the lessons I've learned when I was out there were more than what I've learned on the Appalachian Trail. I've learned that eating more protein is more essential than just empty calories. You know, don't eat a lot of junk like honey buns and stuff. I changed that to Lenny and Larry's cookies. There's like 14 grams of protein in those, but it's sweet and it's kind of cool to eat for breakfast. And tuna protein bars. Your muscle needs all that to repair and recover. And electrolytes. And I did try salt tablets in the afternoon, which helped me with headaches and feeling that, yeah, dehydrated feeling. You start stumbling, and that's not good. That's when you can hurt yourself. But another main thing I've learned is that I have to add more strength training to my routine. So that's where I'm going to pick up now. So that's the lowdown and update on everything, and I will talk to you all later.